Hey, welcome to the Winds Racing Workshop Engineering Division. Oh, there's this cat here. This is called Elsie. Hello, Elsie. So she's just turned up in the last. Look at that. So these are wild cats. So hello. So she's the latest one to sort of walk in. So this is where the trouble starts, really. Having a computer and making stuff. Well, there's my first feral rescue, Mumsy. G'day, Mumsy. So, well, there's a picture I drew once. There you go. There's a hat I made once. Yeah, so this here's El Rusto. So called because it's a Ford Falcon EL 1998 hybrid engine, which means it's got an AU top end basically, which means sweet whahoo. So where was I? Ford Falcon Australia 1998 EL station wagon, which is cunningly converted to a XR6 wagon because Ford didn't make an EL XR6, so I thought I'd fix that for them because look at those lights, mate. Why wouldn't you? And band 1080 because fucking band 1080. Oh, I'm surprised that there's any oil left in that tranny to actually leak. Oh, that's interesting. Unreal. Unreal. So I've been putting ATF in this thing quite regularly just to keep it moving, because when you stick it in gear and you don't go nowhere, it's a sure sign that, well, things are fucked, but you know, you can kind of fix that a little bit by pumping more oil into it. So El Rusto is called El Rusto for a reason. I've replaced all of those sills, inner and outer, and that some of that pillar. This is like, right, that's actually 3mm bloody sheet rather than the original, which is like that. So I'm doing this pillar at the moment, so I need to make up I'll probably use 3mm and go down there and bend around there and down there before putting this back on. These holes are where spot welds have been removed. Inside there, because the trouble with these is these doors are real heavy, and that there's a door stopper, right, and the hinges are right there and up there obviously. So if you've got a hinge point, pivot point right where my finger is there, another one up there, and the stopper's there, you see there's only like that where my finger is between the pivot point and the door stopper. So they're heavy doors, they weigh about 60 kg each, and the wind catches them and so this gets pulled out. And of course behind there there's two layers of steel very close together, and some points it touches like here, so you end up with rust along there, because that's one layer and underneath there's the solid structure. Yeah, so anyway, bit of a defect in these, but a lot of cars have a lot of defects like this, and it astounds me how many cars actually follow this principle of having the tray in front of the windscreen drain out through. I'm not quite tall enough to get in there, but anyway, they drain out through that hole there and then they run down there. And you can see there I've cut a big triangle out there, because usually there's only this 10mm hole at the gap over there, and that gets filled up with one leaf or something, and then you end up with rust, and then you end up with a hole, and it actually runs into the driver's footwell once there's a hole in there. And of course this all fills up with rust in the meantime. So anyway, El Rusto, that's a 26 or 20, whatever, how many years old it is, 24, 20, coming on 25-year-old Ford Australian Falcon. So rather than an auto tranny, well, g'day Ginger, g'day my man, yeah, oh boy. So this is Ginger, he's my latest feral rescue. Anyway, so this here's a 6-speed out of a Lexus, so that might go in there, but then again, it might hold more power than the old T5Z that I've got in the race car, which will one day be supercharged with an M112 Eaton, and probably end up using one of these motors. That's an AU2 XR6, so that's a 2001-2002 model XR6 engine. There's a T5Z out of the AU. In there there's, oh sorry, a T5. In there there's a T5Z from Ford. It was actually an old NASCAR gearbox. I paid about 5 grand for it, refurbished, and then had to chop the front input off to suit the 6-cylinder, because the bell housing, well, the length of the engine is longer than the V8, of course, so the input shaft's different. So that there's, what's that? That's an old exhaust out of a station wagon.